Hey everyone, I am going to give this a shot because I don't know necessarily if this is going to work or not. So hopefully you're seeing this live. If not, I will definitely get you in so that way you can see this live. So let me double check really quickly to make sure you are seeing this really quickly. Um, Let me double check. Okay, let me make sure it is on public. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's dive into this
So that way you can see
because, all right. All right. Yep, you can see it now. All right, good. My name is Laura Ann. Thank you so much for tuning in. I just feel very called in my heart, just talking about several different things. But one of the things that I just feel honestly that's called to me right now is really just building that self belief. Okay, so what are things that I am doing on a day to day basis that's building up that self belief? My mentor always tells me, you need to build up professionally in your development, but also you need to build up your self development as well. And so, in my business, the last couple of years, self development has been very key to my everyday life. And so, one of the beautiful blessings behind all of what I get to do is I get to help others, but also within the time frame that I've been a part of my business, I literally have been building self belief. Okay. And when building self belief, it also means taking bold action when you are in the moment of, again, that self belief. And so, one of the things that I really want to talk to you about today is that God does see you in small things, okay? And for those who were following my lives last week, I've been kind of like in a series where I am really, really, really strong on, again, building up that self belief on myself, in my business, in my finances, in my health and my wellness, and so forth and so forth. And so, you know, many women, especially moms, especially I'm a mom too, so I have a 2-year-old boy, so I understand this completely. Dreamers, faith-driven entrepreneurs, sometimes there is moments where maybe you do feel like you're unseen, or maybe there's times where you've been in a season where you're kind of like in an in-between season, and you know and and you're doing all the work behind the doors. It just hasn't really, like, blossomed yet into what you really want to do. And so this message is really just to remind you all that God is present in small, quiet, and faithful moments. Okay. And so one of the things is, like, if you're just catching the replay, I truly do believe that conversation, communication is key and a role in everything. So if you're catching the replay of this later on, make sure you're putting in replay in the comments. If you're catching this live, just drop an emoji in or drop hey, and I will respond later after the live is off. But here's the thing. I want to talk with women. I want to talk with women who, again, maybe feel like they're doing all the work behind the scenes, but maybe just hasn't had that season of, like, it's go time yet. And so, you've been showing up for yourself. You've been giving it your all. You've been wondering, like, does it even matter what I'm all doing? But I'm going to tell you something. God sees you in the small things, okay? And so the last couple of months to the last couple of years, within the last 2 years of me becoming a mom, I have been really just in a season of finding myself again as an individual. As me being a mom now, I'm a wife, and I truly do believe that, when you do become a mom, you grow in so many different ways, and it's such a beautiful blessing. And there are ways that you see in yourself, you're like, oh, I could change that. Oh, I probably don't need to say that. Or, and you just self analyze yourself. And so, again, it's just, again, you just show up. You just keep showing up every single day, and you are doing all the things. And sometimes you might feel a little overwhelmed. Sometimes you might feel like you're trying to juggle it all. You're trying to balance it all. And so I get that feeling very, very often, more so than none. And so I want to talk with you all about something that I attended this weekend. It was a women's business conference. It was absolutely amazing. I attended it to a local event. It was at Roanoke Community College. They had panelists. They had opening remarks. They had a keynote speaker. I mean, the flyer of this was absolutely amazing. And so, one of the things that I wanted to really go over, and Dr. Lakeisha Walker actually spoke on this a lot, and she spoke about, like, every move you make is going forward. Okay, you need to make that movement of going forward, not backwards. Don't look backwards. And I've said that in not in that way, but I've said that in many ways more than none. And again, like she said, the most impactful, the investment is in yourself. It's important. Like, you really do need to make an investment in yourself, because nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to make that investment for you. Whether it's, you're getting up earlier, and you're getting your workout in, or you're taking time to read a chapter out of the Bible, or it's time where you're just honestly, like, just woosawing before your day starts, or whether it's, having a cup of coffee just in peace and quiet, and you're looking outside and you hear the birds chirping, whatever the case may be. Okay, maybe you're in a season of you're being still in the moment, and you're just kind of in a waiting season. And I talked about this last week, how your time will come, your season will come, but God is also going to prepare you as well. And when you are ready to make that next step, you got to be saying, okay, yeah, I'm ready, I see you, I 100% see you. And so, again, it's one of these things where I truly do. I'm so glad that my sister and I was able to go to this event. It was an amazing business network event. It was amazing women's event. It was just an empowerment of just positivity, uplifting, just talking about branding and talking about your business, or maybe you're someone who's getting ready to start a business. And it is so empowering and so motivating to be in a room with people, women or men. But when I was in this room full of women, it was so empowering to be in a room full of women that they're rise seekers. They want to rise. They want to better themselves. They want to better themselves financially. They want to better themselves mentally, spiritually, physically, whatever it is that they're trying to do. It's moving forward in that action. And so, Dr. Lakeisha Walker said, trust in your ability, embrace it, and seek knowledge. Okay, so she, again, and I felt like when she was speaking through this, it was like, dang, I've seen that before, or I've heard that before, not in that way, but in very similarities. And so it's so important that you just continue to do to do you, and you continue to level up. Okay, Coach Mark always, I always hear Coach Mark always say, level up, level up, level up. It's time to level up. And so yeah, this was an incredible local event. Cannot wait for them to do another one. But I want to continue to dive into what I was talking about, is because I can get off topic very easy. And so I want to point out something, because the key scripture in this, like where I'm going with this, is that in Matthew chapter 6 verses 4, it says, Now, I'm reading a leadership Bible. So this is the NIV version. It's the John Maxwell Leadership Bible, but it says, so that your giving may be in secret, then your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. And so, and it's crazy because my friend Sarah, she's probably going to see this and be like, I literally just told you that this weekend. Like, I literally just told you this weekend. So, so so she literally, her and I were talking, and she literally said this, and this is a verse, it's a biblical verse, and it says, but when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Okay. She said, we were talking about something, and she said that to me, and I'm like, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. And so again, this explains how God values our obedience. He values, even when no one else notices, he values our obedience. And the world the world will applaud you for doing X, Y, and Z, but he will honor faithfulness. And so there are many times, again, in the Bible, okay, in the word, it says, okay, again, Matthew chapter 6, verses 6, it says, but when you pray, go into your room, close the door, pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. Like, there are many times, y'all, that I go in and I close my office. I feel like it's like my room. My office is my room. No matter, like, I feel like when this room, like, I feel like I can come to this room and I can close my door and give me like 5-10 minutes of woosah prayer, journaling, doing a video like this, and this is my moment where I'm like, okay, all right, I can step out and I can conquer the world. All right. um and so again, it's just, I am no scholar of the Bible. Let me just put it out there. I'm no scholar of the Bible. I feel very called to continue to share my testimony. I feel very called to, just again, be myself, be bold, be loud, be just me. And, a lot of times in the past, as, you know, I think a lot of times, we get in our head so much to the point where it can literally paralyze you from not doing the actions that you need to take in order to get things done. And self-belief, diving into the word, doing inspirational, motivational things, as far as listening, what I'm hearing, what I'm putting in my ears, okay, is important. It's important to me. And again, building that belief in myself has taken years. I'm still building up self-belief, but I'm building it in a way, y'all, that I'm building it in a way where it's also faith led. It's also that I'm putting Jesus in the center of this, instead of, oh, look at me kind of thing. No, 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 no. Don't look at me. I want you to see my flaws. I want you to see my imperfections. I want you to see, that I can, and that I will make mistakes, because I am made out of flesh. But thank God that God gives us the grace and the mercy. And here's the thing. And again, I want to talk about a season. I want to talk about a season where, I was working really hard. And, again, things happen in your life where you may have to take a step back. You may have to take a step back, and you may have to just refocus or reset, in your life. And so, I feel like it was also more of a spiritual growth as well in things, because when I became a mom, and again, I would tell you the story over and over again because I feel like it's so good. When I became a mom, about 3 months postpartum, I was sitting in my shower, literally sitting in my shower with the water running down. I think my husband had our son while I was in the shower. I was crying, like bawling my eyes out, like, because I could not do it alone anymore, as far as like carrying, like, what I was carrying, why I was carrying so much burden on myself. I was like, no, like, I've got to let it go. I've got to let whatever happened in my childhood, I've got to let whatever happened in my young adult years, I've got to let it go. I've got to let whoever has treated me wrong in the past, I've got to let it go. Whoever said things about me, I got to let it go. And continue in the path of peace, love, happiness, joy, even though sometimes, y'all, that it's still, life is going to throw curveballs. Life is going to throw challenges in a way that you're still going to have to go through those things. But when you go through those things, you've got to ask yourself, how strong is your mindset? How strong is your mind shift? Okay? Like, are you going to shift your mind into where you sulk and you cry and you boo-hoo and you isolate from people and you have bitterness? Or are you going to use those things and you're going to use it in an advantage where it actually strengthens you, and you use it to help other people? And I think, that sometimes can be the factor is, are you going to let a situation or an obstacle or death or a job loss, or are you gonna let those things dictate you for the rest of your life where you're not truly living? Or are you going to I wouldn't say let it go, but are you going to let it be a testimony in your story? Okay, you get what I'm saying here? And so, again, I want to ask you this question, and I want to ask you this, and you don't have to answer. You don't have to answer at all. But the question is, have you ever felt like you're doing your best, but it feels unnoticed? I can raise my hand. I can raise my hand. 100%. 100%. There's been many times in my life where I felt like I was doing my best, but did it go unnoticed? 100%. But here's the thing. We can let those moments be the dictator of where we stop. We get in our head. We let the enemy tell us that, okay, we're not worthy. We can't do this. Da 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 da. You're a failure. You this that. And then it like paralyzes you where you stop doing what you were meant to do in the first place. And so again, I feel like in the season that and even us moms, I know there's moms out there right now. I can relate that sometimes you just feel like you're doing the best that you can at the moment that you're doing, and you still feel like the things that you do go unnoticed. It happens. It's a true feeling. And so I want to remind you, and I want to encourage you, because again, you're not overlooked. You're not overlooked. I'm not overlooked. Your faithfulness is producing fruit. You know what I'm saying? Your faithfulness, your faith is producing fruit, even when it's under the surface. Even when it's under the surface. Keep sowing, keep praying, and keep showing up. It's the best that you can do. Because the enemy will try to pull you away. The enemy will try to seek you and get in your head, or allow other people to attack you and in ways that you're like, well, where did this come from? I have no idea where this came from. But you have to keep sowing. And when you keep sowing, you keep praying. And when you keep praying, you keep showing up. And I know that there is people out there. I know, and as many times before, over and over and over again, that there are times where you do feel unseen. And if that's someone, if that is you, if you feel like you're unseen, and you're bold and you're loud about it, and you want to drop an emoji, just raise your hand, say, I feel unseen. You don't have to talk about it. You don't have to publicly talk about it. You can DM me, whatever you want to do. But it's just one of these things where I just feel so called, and I feel so driven to keep talking about self-belief, because it's so easy. And I want to point this out. I want to point this out for a second, okay? Because it is so easy. It is so easy to self-isolate. It is so easy to say, yeah, I don't want to be around people, or I don't want to be around so and so, or I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that because why? Ask yourself these things. Ask yourself these things of why you do not want to be in the room. Okay? And so my best advice to you is wherever you're standing, wherever you're listening, wherever you're seeing this from, I pray blessings over blessings over blessings over blessings for you. Whatever the blessings you want to achieve. God hears our cries. He hears our prayers. He hears the praises. He hears just our daily talks. Ask him for guidance. Ask him to teach you. Dive into the word. Listen to motivational, positive, and impactful things. Okay, and really pour into your belief. Because if you're someone who has struggled with belief every single day, even in the past, it's a mindset thing. You have to pivot your mindset. You have to shift your mindset. You have to do things differently than what you've done in the past. And when you do, you start seeing the growth. And the growth is contagious. So what I am telling you is, again, and I want to put this out here because, again, I learned so much in the leadership way in the John Maxwell Bible in the NIV version. It points out like a motive check, like it talks about leaders like must do the right thing for the right reason. Okay, and it talks about leaders can easily get so caught up in doing things for image sake. After all, so many people are watching. Jesus warns us about the Pharisees and the hypocrisy or hypocrites. He means this text for everyone with crucial application to leaders. Our leader speaks about doing things to be seen by men rather than to please God. Jesus wants to build strong convictions in his followers. He wants to produce God pleasers, not people pleasers. In this text, Jesus covers our motives for doing good, giving to charity, prayer, fasting, priorities and values, work and worry. And so again, like, I mean, before even asking Jesus Christ to be in my life and before that, like, on the business side, like, yeah, being a business owner felt good. Being a business owner felt real good. But I wasn't seeking, before having a business in Christ, I wasn't seeking him for anything. I thought that I could handle it all. I thought I could do it all. Oh, no. That's not how it works. And I quickly realized that. There were seasons of goodness. There were seasons of failure. But when you give it to God and you ask him for help and you ask him for guidance, there will be a waiting season, and there will be a season in your life where you have to be patient because he's teaching you patience, and patience is very hard this day and time. But I encourage you to dive in. I encourage you to, again, seek in him, and even when you feel like you're giving it your all, you feel like you're showing up and it's still unseen, it's not overlooked. It's not overlooked by God. And so, again, I just want to give that to you all this morning, or this afternoon. Sorry. Don't know my morning from afternoon, obviously. But got to go. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will do another one of these tomorrow. I'm going to try to be doing a lot of these during the week, and not on the weekends. But if you enjoy these and you're watching and you're not commenting and you like this kind of stuff, like, please send me a message. because sometimes the encouragers also need to be encouraged as well. Do you get what I'm saying there? And so I've had many people come up to me and say, "Man, I watch your videos. Like, keep doing them. They're great." Okay, awesome. But the encourager sometimes also needs to be encouraged. Um, so yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it.